Okay, 11 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. Becky, will you do the roll call, please?
I sure will. Bob Olson, Tom Kitson,
Present.
Jack Scrogstead. We have Dean Friel. Here. Mike Copine.
Here.
Mike Zeman.
Here.
Jim Sheenline.
Here.
Tom Wilson will not be here.
You're Tom Wilson.
There's the answer.
Okay.
Oh, whatever.
Thank you.
Dean does have to split himself.
Alice, have you got anything for us not on the agenda?
I just have two petitions that are coming up for vote this month. One is the Woosung Solar Project. The second one is the skilled trade for the Humphrey Project. I'm here to answer any questions that the board may have.
Okay, anybody have any questions or? It is my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, that on the skilled trades one, by the stand of the zoning board, they will have to have inside storage. Is that correct?
So what the ordinance requires for a skilled trade, it states no outdoor storage unless you get a separate special use for that outdoor storage. So what they're obtaining through this petition is the right to have their business at that location. If they want to have outdoor storage as part of that, they would have to get a separate special use. So what the ZBA has done is they've made a recommendation that there should be no outdoor storage. Essentially, I feel they're saving Mr. Humphrey a step and having to go through that process by stating we don't want outdoor storage for this use.
Okay.
And as a special use is a use that is not typical of a district. And so that's why we have set these standards so that it will fit better with the district that it's in. You know, it's not, we're not saying he can't have his business there, but we're telling him that he has to comply with what the county has in order to do so. So that being the no outdoor storage. It's my understanding he has existing buildings on the property. He would be able to utilize those structures if he chose to do so.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Paul, do you have anything that's not on the agenda?
No.
Nancy? Keen? No, sir. Thank you. Okay, approval of minutes from the last meeting. If there's no changes or corrections from the April 11th Executive Committee meeting, they will stand as read. Not hearing any, they'll stand as read. Okay, we'll go right to reports of committees. Claims, Mr. Zeman, please.
Yeah, I'll in the board meeting, I'll report on April 17th. Did 50 claims. On May 8th, we did. Remember that one, Nancy? Yeah.
110 claims.
110.
Wow, was an all day.
Crank right through them, but it was long. That's all I got.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Zeman? Thank you, Mike. County Services, Dean Friel, Mr. Friel, I'm sorry.
Yes, we had our meeting on Tuesday. The information's in the packet. Nothing extraordinary.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Friel? Okay, thanks, Dean. Public Safety, Mr. Copine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Public Safety met last Tuesday here in this facility. All the pertaining reports that were submitted are available in the packet online. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to try and answer them.
Any questions for Mike? Okay, thank you, Mike. Facilities and Maintenance, Mr. Wilson's not here. Mr. Friel, can you handle that?
Yes, thank you. We had a short meeting on Tuesday. Again, nothing earth shattering. The new courthouse should be completed pretty much by the 1st of June, you know, with a few little things afterwards, but the middle of June, they should be completely done. And we've got a new, an administrator, which is new director hired. He's to start June 3rd.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Friel, following from Mr. Wilson? Okay, thanks, Dean.
Mhm.
Finance Committee, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Finance Committee met this morning and we have no action items to put on the agenda approved from the Finance Committee with one that we are asking, it was not a formal motion out of committee, but it was a board action request that kind of got missed, and it was in regards to a squad car that needs to be replaced. The sheriff had put in a board action request, and I didn't get it on the finance agenda. So the request would be to place that on the agenda for next month's meeting.
We need a motion to do that. No? Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, we had the regular treasurer's monthly financial report. The only notable item there is we had a discussion in regards to our revenues, personal property, replacement tax is coming in unfortunately as expected from the state, which is down significantly from the prior year. And but the positive thing is that sales tax revenue and state income tax revenues continues to be strong. So expenses are tracking about as normal. And the other thing is a reminder, and I want this put on the agenda, is the reminder of June 4th for the board retreat, financial retreat on June 4th, talking about the budget. And I just want to remind all the members to let Paul or Reed know their ability to attend, and we look forward to everybody being there. So
Okay.
that's all I've got.
And that,
Yeah, here.
that will
Yep,
be on
yep.
the agenda for county board.
Yeah, chair announcements be included in that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And if Mike Zeman shows up, we have to sing him happy birthday, you know.
It's,
We'll have a cake for you, Mike.
and just for the record, they've referred to it in the last meeting as a gala of that.
Galen.
So maybe birthday cake, who knows what could be there. Okay, thank you, Jim. Sheriff's report from public safety. The details, it's for information only. It is in the packet. I think we've talked about a lot of what's been written there. I'm beginning to think we should be printing those out, sending them to our congressman asking for some changes in state law from what we see, but
I agree with that.
hey, Jeremy, administrator's report. Anything you'd like to share with us?
I'm just going to highlight the same things I highlighted at the finance meeting. We're going to start preparing for budget season, which is quickly coming upon us. We will have creating the budget hearing schedule, which should start the end of July and go through August. As we continue to go through those preparations, we'll be inviting all department heads to have a budget hearing and talk to the finance committee to discuss, high overview of their departmental needs and changes in the budget. I am going to be working with the treasurer's department, the assessor's office, starting next week on calculations of the EAV moving forward and the levy. So we're primed and starting to move forward with some of the financial decisions that are going to impact the county. That's all I have.
Any questions for Jeremy? All right, thank you, Jeremy. Under old business, we have nothing, so we'll move into new business. Abandoned nuisance property funding, commercial property funding for discussion. Jeremy, you want to take that?
Yep. So, this is the abandoned nuisance properties focus group has been coming together, again, predating me, but we are really starting to ramp up our efforts and making sure that internally we have an understanding of our processes, how we can move forward and start getting some action on some of these quite a large list that keeps growing of nuisance and abandoned properties throughout the county. With that, we have a very small amount of funding that currently exists for us to take action on some of these things if the county wanted to back some of them up. Right now we have a little under $60,000 from county funds that were set aside last, year in the nuisance budget for us to act upon things. Then we have $77,000 from the Strong Communities grant. but that is for residential purposes only. Again, that amount of funds is only gonna still, scratch the surface of the needs that we have. So something for us to think about, and a need is as we move forward, the county's, gonna need to probably set some funds aside to help with that nuisance property pool. A commercial property that, such as, let's say, the Aldina Infirmary or the Lee Center School would cost, if it came on the county, at least $100,000 to take down. So just to put that into perspective, a residential home, one story that doesn't have a massive abatement issue, maybe $10,000 to $15,000. If there's an abatement issue, there may need more. So, with the small pool that we have, it's something that we, from the county board perspective, we might want to set some more funds aside to make sure that we're actually being able to take action on some of these properties. It's not just for that side of it as well, because there is going to be costs from a legal perspective for us to move on these as well.
All right, thank you. Question. If, I know in Compton, we tore down a house and gave the property to the city of Compton. They did whatever they wanted with it. And it's not a profit-making business, I know that. But if we tore down, for example, that school, do we then have that land that we can resell and get back on the tax base?
Well, yes, it depends on if we take ownership of the property. So there's a couple different options for us to do, but if we move towards an abandoned selection or demolishment, however we want to move forward, it is in the county's best interest, if we're not working with a partner, to take ownership of that, tear that down. We would then be able to work with a private party or a developer and to sell that. Yes.
Okay. Any questions for Jeremy? Okay, thank you, Jeremy. Certified list of candidates for judge of election for Republican and Democratic parties. This resolution is required by statute. We do need a motion to move this list of candidates for judge of election for Republican and Democratic parties to the May County Board meeting. Mr. Friel, second by Mr. Copine. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, IDOT resolution for parcel number 2052206. I believe both these are going to come up, our parcels over on the new courts building where the state's doing some adjusting for the street and sidewalk and so forth.
Yep. So these are both ADA sidewalk improvement projects that IDOT is doing. One of them is on the south east corner of our new courts building by the parking lot, and the other one's right here on the northeast corner. Essentially, they need to come in and do some ADA improvements. So these are resolutions that they would be taking easement, and it's a warranty deed process, and they do this quite often.
Okay, so is there a motion to move the IDOT resolution 205, so forth? Okay, Mr. Friel, Mr. Sheehan seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next we have the other IDOT resolution for parcel 2052213. Same thing as Jeremy just explained. There's a motion to move this resolution to the May County Board agenda. Mr. Friel. Mr. Copine seconds it. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, there's no appointments this month. We have 4 raffle reports.
So there's no appointments on the executive committee agenda that need to be forward, but there will be 2 appointments on the actual county
Okay.
board agenda. So.
Okay. Sorry, there's none need to be motion to it. Okay. Thank you. See, that's why you get the big bucks. The 4 raffle reports, Walton Fest, Walton for April and for May, Mississippi Center's raffle report, and Dixon VFW, the ham shoot. Your motion to put the Walton Fest, April 1st drawing, Walton Fest, May 6th drawing, Mississippi Centers, and Dixon VFW auxiliary ham shoot raffle on file with the county. Mr. Friel, Mr. Zeman. Any conversation, discussion? Yeah, all right. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, review of per diem report for county board approval, January meetings for March payout. For information only, but is there anything?
I screwed that up. That is actually for April meeting.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
Why didn't I catch that? Sorry. Yeah, I believe you. You did that test me, didn't you? See if I can catch it. Okay. Is there any discussion of that? Anybody? Okay. And we have nothing for executive session. So we'll go right into verification of topics to be included on the May 23rd County Board agenda. And we need to be concerned nobody from Nancy's office is here or not.
So Nancy is at a conference. They're short-staffed.
Okay.
We're gonna take care of that and then work with Nancy when she comes back this afternoon to make sure everything's on the agenda.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so we'll go through the call of order, pledge of allegiance, invocation, roll call, board chair announcements, approval of board minutes, April 18th. Joseph Meyer resolutions, there are none. Zoning and planning, petitions going to the zoning board of appeals will be 2 petitions. Petition 24-P-1625 from Amoresco, Lee County, RNG.
11:16 a.m.
Yep. Let's see.
Time to make the donut.
Yeah. Petition number 24-P-1626 by Michael Doherty and Tammy Doherty. Petitions going to the planning commission. One petition is a petition number 24-PC-76 by Lee County Zoning Office. Petitions coming from the zoning board of appeals, 2 petitions. Resolution 24-P-1623 by Petitioner Irish Eyes Farm LLC. And the second one's a resolution for petition number 24-P-1624 by Richard Humphrey Jr. and Brenda Humphrey. I think Alice mentioned both of these. 4 petitions coming from the planning commission. There are none. Administrator monthly update and board member comments. Public comment. Carla Belzer will be here from University of Illinois County Extension. Quarterly report. Tom Demmer from LCIDA will be here, quarterly report and updates. Lucas Pauly will visit Lee County, quarterly report and updates. Our new tourism. Reports of committees. Unfinished business, we have none. New business, intergovernmental agreement between Lee County and the city of Dixon.
Do you guys want an explanation of that? Okay, so that is an agreement between the assessment office and GIS services with the city of Dixon. That agreement has not been updated in years, and Jennifer Boyd, our chief assessment officer, and the city of Dixon had come to discuss a new agreement where there's a 3% increase year over year on the assessment or on the GIS services. That has never been in place before as the costs continue to rise. So that's what that is. And both parties are in agreement.
Good, thank you. Resolution in support of House Bill 4512.
Would you like another?
Sure.
Okay. So this is also coming from the assessment office. So with that, there's a bill that is looking to be passed down in Springfield, where they are essentially talking about how the assessment offices have to publish information with the county. So right now in their publications, from a perspective of our county, we are spending around, on average, $9,000 a year in publications through how we have to do it statutorily. This House bill will allow us to publish, do the publications through standard media as we do, and or on our county website, which can save some funds as well. So Jennifer Boyd and state assessment offices from counties across the state are trying to come together in support of this House bill, if it, for it to be passed. So she'd like the county to support the House bill as well and have a resolution doing so.
Yeah. Certified list of candidates for judge of elections. And then the two IDOT resolutions that we just put on. Bar form sheriff's office squad car replacement. It was discussed this morning with finance. Appointments. Resolution to reappoint Judy Truckenbroad to the Farmland Assessment Review Committee. And we're gonna reappoint some guy named Sheline to the Farmland Assessment Review Committee.
Nobody told.
Okay, we'll vote that one down. We'll have executive session, although there's nothing right now on it. Approval of county officers' reports, quarterly treasury reports. Roll call approval for monthly revenue reports, claims, paid vacation payroll. Approval of board member mileage and per diem. Adjournment of county board meeting agenda. Motion to approve the proposed county board agenda. So is there a motion to approve this agenda? Mr. Friel? Mr. Sheehan? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. German Executive Committee meeting, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Mr. Friel seconds it, Mr. Copine made the motion, I'm sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.